Interview and Job Search Strategies at Work, episode 25. So today I'd like to just talk to you about the podcast. Actually, what is it about? I think maybe hopefully this is not maybe it's not getting talked about, or I have not talked about it, if you will, at length. But who is this podcast for? It's for anybody, really, everybody, really. It's for the high school student who is just like kind of like shy or doesn't know. Maybe the high school student isn't popular or doesn't know what they want to do. Right? Everybody, oh yeah, I want to go to high school or college, whatever afterwards. Maybe they don't know, and maybe they love the trades, meaning there's like a tech ed course or something where they do electronics, or anything like that. I know high school's a lot different nowadays, right? There's it's more futuristic nowadays. Any rate, but this is what it's for. Just to give you some sort of like an option. That maybe you don't hear about every day. And I can tell you that when you're in high school, you don't know what's going on. You have no idea what you're going to do. But people, parents, whoever, relatives think, go to college or join the military or get a job or whatever, right? Well, they're different, whatever you can do, whatever you want to do, right? The hope of the podcast here is just to give you a perspective, really, of it. Give you a perspective of these are the type of jobs that are out there. These are the guests who've done those jobs. And they just explain, okay, this is the job, like NetAdmin, right? John the other day came on and explained NetAdmin, network administrator. Just like, what is that like? Give an idea of what it, what can you expect to do that, to do with the job. Who else is it for? It's for the 30-year-old woman, man, father, mother. It's for the 40-year-old man, woman, mother, 20-year-old man, woman. It's for the 50-year-old man, woman who's just starting over in their career. Like they just got laid off, they got fired, they retired, whatever, and then they want to know, what else can I do? Because maybe they were 20 years or 10 years or 18 years or a retired military, retired corporate life, whatever. And they did not like it, but they just said, I need something else. I need more creative, and this is just an option they can do. Through this podcast, they listen to different people, what they do, and like, oh yeah, that's a good job to have. That's a good idea. It's for the 60-year-old. It's for the 70-year-old. It's for the 80-year-old. It's for the 90-year-old person who just like wants to do something extra, because I'll tell you, right, there's not a lot of folks out there who are that I've seen anyway. So other folks that are probably like 60 plus or 70 plus or 80 plus, I if there's a place out there like an IT person who's like 80 years old, who understands IT, that's awesome, man. They have a market because they can teach like other folks how to do IT in their age bracket. Because I don't know if you know this or not, but your influence on other folks is how you interact with them. It's a dinner table when you're talking to people. It's how you explain it to them. Don't talk over their head. Just explain it to them how they understand, not how I understand, or how other folks understand. It's like how they understand. Rather, it's how does that person understand or get it. You're going to find when you teach or when you're in IT, someone may have certification, but they don't understand. When you become a leader, for instance, your people that you serve as a leader, they're not going to understand because you just have to break it down for them, because how they learn is probably like me, visual, and do by doing and by failing. I learn by failing, by the way. I fail. Oh, that's how to do it, or that's not how to do it. But it's a, oh, okay, I've learned how not to do it. Awesome. That's fantastic. So let me try again. That's how I learn, basically, a lot of things. But yeah. At any rate, this is the who's the podcast is for, and it's not necessarily a business podcast, because it's a transition, right? If you want to do a business, great. But if you're not ready yet, if you've never had a business ever, and you go into business and get a business, great. But if you want an easy transition in, this is what this is about. So, for instance, you want to, let's just say this. Let's say you want to start an IT company, whatever that is, and by you doing IT, you have credibility. You've done it. That's the whole. That's why I talk about succession of the jobs, meaning like call center, and then from call center to help desk, and then from help desk to sysadmin or junior sysadmin, or and then to senior sysadmin to senior, and then system engineer, or the other way where you go from call center to call center, help desk to maybe network administrator, and then on that path, network engineer, right? Or even from call center to help desk to sysadmin, maybe then to SQL DBA, or Oracle or SQL, some sort of DBA, database administrator. Reason is because whenever though some other podcasts are great, awesome, but people aren't ready. You need a method or a vehicle to get you there to the business portion. If you haven't done it, when you get to be a business, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, because imagine you're at the customer site and you haven't done things, but you have a business and it says XYZ IT, but you haven't done those little things. You're going to miss out on that, actually. You're going to miss out on those technology, meaning like if you've never installed a hard drive in a server or a computer and you go to a customer's house, maybe you won't know how to do it properly. Of course you go out to YouTube, but little things like that. That's what you learn, right? And it doesn't take very long to learn that either. That type of stuff. It's maybe a year, right? If you start in high school, for instance, or wherever you're at in life, you can start early, or let's say 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, whatever. And then you just get those skills. Take like 6 months to a year. Just get those skills needed to have some credibility. And then a certification will help as well, like a Net Plus or A Plus. That's pretty basic there. Well, I say basic for me, but I don't mean it in that regard. See, that's another idea, or another reason why you break it down for people in their terms. Because when I say A plus, oh yeah, but maybe for them, or you even, right? It's like, whoa, I don't know what that means. There's all these things, and see, every cert you get, that's a massive achievement, by the way. Like there's not a lot of IT people, by the way, in the world. I don't know if you know that or not, relative to the population. Some countries more, some countries less, but that's a skill that's highly in demand, no matter what you see on the internet or read or whatever. The reason you don't see a lot of jobs is because they're probably not going the traditional way of hiring from a job board. They're probably doing it word of mouth. So you're not going to see that job post or on their actual website itself. Maybe they don't want to pay the 20% or whatever it is to a recruiter even, so you're not going to see that for that type of job. So jobs are out there. They're 100% out there. And if you just make the effort known, hey, I'm looking for a job, right? You're gonna get it 100%. But back to my thing here was it's a transition period from A to B to C, right? So you want to go to D, which is or I don't know, C, let's say a business, but you're at A, and you know, there's there's a step in between to go through to get to that point, to get your credibility, to get your brand, if you will, and you could start this at any time. It doesn't take very long either, and I'll probably do another podcast and actually just explaining that portion in itself on, let's say how long it takes, what are the steps in between to do from a call center to a business. How long should that typically take you? Based on my experience, basically, really, because I've done all this stuff. That's what I'm talking about. I don't like to talk about stuff that I don't know about or haven't done. And I will, but it doesn't give you any value because if I don't know it, I can't elaborate on it, right? So, this is just a little quick podcast explaining that. So, imagine you're in a checkout line of life, right? You're in checkout, and there's a person behind you who doesn't know what you know, right? And you see the value in what you're doing, and you know that they have the skill set or the personality, because you can't teach personality, by the way. And they have a good attitude, like, oh, that person would be great working with me, right? And then you just try to bring them ahead with you. You try to bring them with you, And if they pass you in money, in career, that's awesome. That's a reflection on you because you've mentored that person and helped them achieve that. That's awesome. When people you've helped them achieve something, you've also achieved it yourself. Wow, the system works. I did something and it helped somebody else, Wow. You don't do it for them, right? That's the misconcept. You don't do it for them. You're just showing them the tools, and then you're guiding them along if they want to, if they need guidance, if you will. Meaning just like guidance can be just as easy as like, hey, you want to talk about this? What you want to you want to talk about, let's say networking, right? Like, oh, do you want to talk about IP addresses? So this is, and what you do is you say like, this is how I understand IP addresses and subnetting. And you write it down on the board, maybe, right? You spend like 30 minutes or with a person, or even like a WebEx or a peer.in, anyway. And you just explain it to them in their terms. Maybe do it Walmart way. Everyone knows Walmart, use the Walmart method. Go to Walmart, bunch of people, right? However you want to explain it. I'm just giving ideas. But so that they have the aha moment, like, whoa, wow, that's so cool. I never thought about it that way. That's spectacular. Wow. Yeah. Okay. This is just a short little podcast today. Appreciate everybody listening to this, and have a great day.